Fatality.
Alec Baldwin back in the news, folks. This article dropped yesterday evening. Alec Baldwin tries to axe Rust crew member's suit over fatal shooting as criminal trial pushed to 2024. Alec Baldwin is, instead of firearms, he's taken to axing people. I'm just kidding. Itepukuian right here with you. He got off on some of the charges, and here we are. Special prosecutors have not decided whether criminal charges will be refiled against Alec Baldwin in the 2021 fatal shooting of Rust cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. But the actor this week is trying to stop crew members from the indie western from taking him to court. Meanwhile, Armor Hannah Gutierrez-Reed has seen her criminal trial kicked down the road to next year. Attorneys for Baldwin and El Dorado Pictures have filed a motion to dismiss the civil case brought in February by Rust crew members Ross Adagio, Duran Curtin, Reese Price, who accused Baldwin and the producers of negligent and reckless conduct. Hedging their bets, the defendants also have a motion pending to stay the whole matter until the Rust criminal trial is done and determined. This is a big undertaking. These trials, obviously can take, years. Not trials, but the hearings and all the behind-the-scenes litigation. The amount of paperwork and motions and refiling that goes into these things it's literally...
2 hours later.
New Mexico's first judicial district court has a hearing set for Wednesday on those motions, with the outcome potentially creating significant blast radius for not just the criminal case, from which Baldwin was dropped from in April, but also for various other ongoing civil cases against Baldwin in New Mexico and California.
It's the Splenda packet.
This is funny. Baldwin has long insisted he never pulled the trigger on the 1880s prop gun that killed Hutchins and injured Rust director Joel Souza on October 21st, 2021 on the Bonanza Creek Ranch set near Sante Fe, New Mexico. Liar! Baldwin, pointing the gun at Hutchins during a rehearsal, says the gun simply went off.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
An insistence the FBI disagreed with in its report on the matter released last year. Initially charged by the local DA under much more punitive... Initially charged by the local DA under much more putative measures, Baldwin, like Gutierrez-Reed, was looking at a maximum of 18 months behind bars and about $5,000 in fines if found guilty. Isn't that something? You kill somebody, you injure somebody else, 18 months and $5,000 in fines if found guilty. Okay, if you or I do that, it's not 18 months and $5,000, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm gonna say about that. It pays to be a Hollywood elite that literally can get away with murder and have it called negligent manslaughter, or whatever they pled it down to, and drop the criminal charge. Oh, it's fine. It's just Alec Baldwin, just innocent Alec Baldwin. He's fine.
It's the Splenda packet.
In that sense, Baldwin was partially vindicated when newly appointed special prosecutor Kari Morrissey and Jason Lewis dismissed the involuntary manslaughter claims against the actor this spring because of concerns about the state of the firearm in question and potential modifications that may have occurred. While Morrissey and Lewis have proceeded with their investigation of Gutierrez-Reed, who has pleaded not guilty, the duo made sure to leave the door open to pull Baldwin back into the criminal case if the evidence warranted it. See, this is what I don't understand. Well, what I do understand is Gutierrez-Reed is a much easier target to convict in this case than Alec Baldwin. But, is Alec Baldwin really worth defending?
Nope.
As the Hollywood crowd goes in the hierarchy, do you think the powers that be are really like, please, will you save Alec Baldwin? We really need him for the cause. All he is a mouthy idiot. Although Alec Baldwin repeatedly denies pulling the trigger, given the test's findings and observations reported here, the trigger had to be pulled or depressed sufficiently to release the fully cocked or retracted hammer of the evidence revolver, reads a forensics report commissioned by the prosecutors and made public last week. Weapons examiners Lucien Hagg and Michael Hagg added in their August 2nd report, if the hammer had not been fully retracted to the rear and were to slip from the handler's thumb without the trigger depressed, The half-cock or quarter-cock notches in the hammer would have prevented the firing pin from reaching any cartridge in the firing chamber. Having made their displeasure on how the rust probe was handled by local police and Santa Fe District Attorney Mary Carmack Altwies known, whether the special prosecutors now make the move to refile charges against the much-sued Baldwin remains a wild card even with the new report. Charges against Mr. Baldwin are being considered, but a final decision has not yet been made. And Special Prosecutor Morrissey on August 16th, after the Hags graphics and photography heavy report was submitted, we won't be pressured by Ms. Gutierrez's attorneys or anyone else in this regard.
The Splenda packet.
Regardless of how that aspect of the case plays out, the already delayed criminal trial was rescheduled Monday from the end of this year to February 21st. Gutierrez Reed's lawyer, Jason Bullsh, had no comment on the latest date. The reason given for the change was scheduling issues around witnesses. I hear from an individual close to the case.
The Splenda packet.
New Mexico District Court Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer had penciled in the criminal trial to run through March 6th. That will make it almost a year after a resurrected Rust production began filming in Montana, with producer Baldwin back in front of the camera as retired gunslinger Harlan Rust and Sousa directing. Completing production a few weeks later, Rust 2.0 saw widower and entertainment lawyer Matthew Hutchins join as an executive producer on both the feature film and a documentary about his wife. The EP role was part of Hutchins' 2022 legal settlement with Rust producers after he had filed a wrongful death lawsuit earlier that year. Yeah, so as I said earlier in the video, they basically, paid him through giving him a job to kind of, compensate for the wrongful death of his wife at the at the hands of Alec Baldwin, but behind the trigger of Alec Baldwin. And Joel Sousa came back to direct, and, we all live happily ever after, right? Alec Baldwin gets to go on and, be a, still a privileged millionaire and, celebrity, and Matthew Hutchins' wife is going, the mother of his child is gone, but hey, he's an entertainment lawyer, right? He knows the ropes. At first I wasn't aware he was an entertainment lawyer, and I found that I'm like, there's a lot of things in this case that just rub me the wrong way. But, I'm not an Alec Baldwin fan as a person. The guy just is swarmy. But, who in Hollywood isn't a scumbag? There's very few people that just aren't complete scumbags in Hollywood. And since 2016, that's really opened this up. It really has. And then everything in 2020. And then, of course, hey, a bunch of jackasses. Let's sing Imagine. Oh, we feel your...
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Judge denies Alec Baldwin motion to dismiss Rust Crew's lawsuit. That was the crux of the last article, was the lawsuit being, the motion filed to dismiss that, and this judge is like, no, you're not going to do that. New Mexico judge has denied the motions filed by Alec Baldwin to dismiss a civil suit filed by Rust Crew members alleging that the actor, producer cut corners on safety and skipped related training before he fatally wounded cinematographer Halyna Hutchins.
You stupid idiot.
The original motions were filed by Baldwin and Eldorado Pictures to dismiss the lawsuit, along with a motion by Baldwin to stay the civil action pending resolution of criminal proceedings. The plaintiffs filing the lawsuit are three members of the Rust film crew, Ross Adagio, Duran Curtin, and Reese Price, who were employed as contractors according to the suit. Adagio is responsible for building and operating mechanisms for camera movement. Curtin was responsible for overseeing costumes and accessories. Price was responsible for non-electric support gear and the direction of the crew in the rigging department, according to the court documents, the lawsuit said. Baldwin was practicing cross-draw when the gun fired, striking Hutchins and Sousa. So there you have a quick update on this ongoing litigation. The judge denied Baldwin's legal team's motion to dismiss that crew's lawsuit, and we will keep you updated on anything further that develops in this case. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't. Ding the bell for notifications, because if you don't get notifications, you don't know when we go live 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays if you're a channel member. 4, you get a member stream on Thursdays for an hour. That's right, folks. Plus videos. I'm recording videos as we speak, as you see right here. So that's it. I'm Itepukuin from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I will catch you
The Splenda packet.
on the next one.